We live and early.
Y'all, welcome back to another episode of Herbal Tea Thursday, your wellness live series. It's your healthy habits and lifestyle coach, Giovanni, host of the Empowered Plates, Empowered Lives podcast with my girl,
Shireen. And I'm out here just singing in these streets, drinking my chlorophyll. And I am the owner of Perspective Studio Productions, where I'm not right now. I've been trying to get there and I will be there soon. And the host of Voices and Vibes podcast. We don't sing on there, but maybe we should. How you doing, Jay?
Okay,
Jay.
Girl, I'm drinking yellow watermelon juice today.
Bam,
Cheers.
bam. Chlorophyll.
Some it's actually really, really good. Y'all check out the Juice Prep live. I talked about seeded versus seedless watermelon. And I found some seedless orange and yellow melons. And so I juiced them, and then I had a red seeded watermelon. So go check out that live stream, the Juice with the Forest playlist. Yo, Shireen, check us in.
Girl. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I trust the ebbs and flows of my life, the winding turns and the full spectrum of emotions that I feel. I trust that growth comes from difficult moments and unknown places. I am blessed to be where I am right now. You don't need to try to write it, Giovanni, because I'm just going to copy and paste it.
I was just going to put the word trust, and I was going to say, as y'all come into the live or you catch the replay, drop the word trust in the comments that you have been checked in.
I got it. It almost felt very poetic. I'm just taking out all the spaces, and then let's hit it one more time. My phone is ringing. Oh no, they could wait. I trust the ebbs and flows of my life, the winding turns and the full spectrums of the emotions that I feel. I trust that growth comes from difficult moments and unknown places. I am blessed. We are blessed to be where we are right now. Yeah.
That's a great check-in, Shireen.
Yeah. And you know what? The ebbs and flows, it does give all kinds of emotions. It's like the wins are the highs and the lows are the okay. Like you can choose to take a low and have it turn negative, or you could choose to take a lower moment and be like, all right, what can I learn from this? How do I change this around? Like you could choose the mindset of how you're going to deal with a low, because we need to normalize lower moments as opposed to the world is ending, the sky is falling, instead of turning it into Chicken Little, right? So you can choose, you have a choice, and that goes back to the 17 seconds theory. You can choose how you want those highs and lows. And even on the high, some people don't even celebrate the highs, even when it's the small, right? So you can choose how you want your highs and lows. And what up? Oh, shoot.
Hey, oh, shoot. Coming through. Hey,
early.
Shoot.
You're in here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Man. I appreciate it. Right. Notification bell must be on.
And Giovanni, we're matching. We look like we're matching a little bit.
Oh my gosh. And then Shireen, this shirt, you can't see it. It's on the back. But on the back of my shirt, it says minding my mindful business. It was a sample that I got, and I got a compliment on the shirt earlier this week or this weekend. And I was like, yep, I'm going to put this one on the website and make sure as soon as I drop it, I send it to the person who said, I love that shirt. I need one of those.
Right here, baby.
One of the samples. And so I thought it was pretty cool. But I like the check-in, and I agree with you. We do not acknowledge the lows.
We need to normalize it
with a mindset that says, and it is still working for me. And so that is something that stood out to me when you're talking about like really not acknowledging the highs and the lows. And then that when you don't even do that, knowing that the lows are even working for you, even when you said sometimes we don't even know how to celebrate the highs. Like some people just it's hard for them. Like what we're about to do next is talk about our wellness wins. It's so much hard for people to even identify what a win is sometimes because we don't do enough of acknowledging our achievements, what we've overcome, where we are in places. And I think we should do a little bit better at showing up for ourselves and seeing how far we've grown, what we've able to overcome, and just being present in the now and where we are in that journey and the so many different aspects of our life that we live in every single day, just not in one. And so I really think that this check-in really hit on so many different levels. And I'm glad that we were able to let people know that, you know, just own the journey, high, low, acknowledge it because it's all working for you, and trust. Yeah. And just trust it. Trust it. Even when you don't know what it's working out or what it's going towards, just trust it. I like that.
It's like trusting yourself, right? Like, do you trust yourself? You're going to trust that you're going to do your very best, and it may not be 100%, but you're going to trust that you are striving to do your best in most moments, or you're striving to take steps towards what you want, right? Like what you're trying to accomplish, hit those goals. If you have goals, you're striving towards those things. So that trust, like trust in self, it's big. And I think that a lot of people don't trust in themselves, or they forget that they do trust in themselves. And it's probably us as well, right? That's why we forget the wins, forget highs and lows for a minute, but like the small and the wins that are not like big celebration, all out wins, but like, hey, you said, Shrina, are you still doing the chlorophyll? And I was like, got it in the cup. Small win, you know, like I was throwing out some recycle, and I was like, look at all, never mind, it was water bottles, but look at all the water bottles. Look at all the water I was consuming. Like, it may not be on all fronts, but it's that trust in yourself that you are going to try to do things. You're away from home, and you know you're doing the same thing. So you're going to trust in yourself that you're going to work towards maintaining your goals, or like
being
working
consistent
on your goals. Yeah.
It was something that you said, and I don't have my notes around me to jot it down while you're talking and you're saying it. But something that came out of what you said that kind of stood out was, not only do sometimes we don't forget that we're trusting ourselves, but sometimes we get so caught up in life that we don't even realize that we're lacking taking care of ourselves, because we're so much like doing so many different things. And like you just said, like, I've been drinking the water though. Like, I might not be doing all the things or getting all the rest that I used to do, or, you know, working in certain areas of my routine might not be sticking, but I'm staying hydrated, you know, like I'm getting in certain nutrients. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in life that we don't even recognize when we're not showing up for ourselves until our body says something in regards to how we take care of ourselves. But I do feel like people aren't always trusting in the process, let alone trusting themselves and what it is that they're doing, especially if it's something new and they've never done it before. And so it takes a little bit more boldness, courage, a level of confidence that you might not have developed just quite yet to still trust yourself with doing something different. And we even talked about that in the last episode, about how, you know, halftime is over. What are we going to do for the next half of this year, and doing some things differently? So I really like that. So we did a good job with checking in, and even kind of taking a deeper dive on the check-in that we normally don't take that long in doing it. So that definitely kind of hit us.
It's interesting because this was not the topic, but it's such a good topic. Like, and it kind of spins off of last week, like that whole trust part. And sure, maybe some of this will spin off into the content, and we can do the wins. Let's just pause the wins for a minute and just talk about this for a minute, because I feel like I am really thinking about, or let's circle back to the twins after. I am really thinking about a couple of things have come up and I have to make like decisions.
Mm.
And even I had a call today that just came up, right? And then I guess I knew it. I should have known it was going to come up because we talked about it weeks ago, but it came up today, and I was like, oh, okay, how do I navigate this? But it will be different execution for the second half. Like, it will impact the second half of the year. So even as I was burning the computer downstairs, I was like, okay, reading the content, and I'm like, okay, does this make my content more riskier, or how will these things impact my content? How will I share this information? Will I share the information? Right? But this word trust that just came in, and even the little things, it's funny, we're talking as the check-in, but I'm also like, it's kind of like talking to me as well. Like, well, I still have to trust that I'm gonna make whatever decision I believe in this moment or over the next few hours in the best interest of the business. But I just got to trust that it's going to work out really, really well. And I mean, I don't have any hesitation about that, but it is that trust in self, right? It's that trust that helps you make the decision. But you don't really think about the trust part. When you're second guessing things, you don't think about, I don't know, I'm stuck here for a minute because it was speaking to me. So like when you, and I'm not second guessing what I have to make, but when we get caught up in second guessing things, we unconsciously know or unconsciously are second guessing our own trust in self. Sometimes I see it with other people. Like when people are in front of me and I see like they want to do something and they're talking about their vision and stuff, and then I'm like, okay, I don't even understand why they're lacking. I'm surprised because it kind of comes off of like a lack of confidence, but also I'm like, well, where's your faith? And I don't always mean where's your faith outside of you. That's one thing, but it's also like, where's your faith in yourself? Like, where's your trust in yourself? Right?
Yeah, I always think it goes back to like what I mentioned a few minutes ago, is that you've never done it before. And because you've never done it before, that's where that hesitation comes from. Even though you might be good at it and you haven't actually done it, but it's like, I've never done it before. So it's kind of like, so how will I get it done? Or what is the process of taking action to get me to getting ready to do the thing that I now need to embrace to do? And I think just, I guess, the message that I was sending, I think you asked us in our accountability group, like, hey, how's everybody doing? And it was more so like, I'm getting ready to launch a webinar and see what this looks like for leads and conversions, just what it would look like for my business. And I've never done it before. And so I'm kind of anxious, but I'm also excited to see what the journey will look like what will happen. But it all starts with me. And I think that's been like a big thing that I've heard in other like spaces. Like your first webinar is not even about how many people comes. It's about how you just show up and do your presentation. And it's just about you first before it's about the people that then come, that want to be there, that want to learn, that want to get more insight, or that just want to support after it's about you first. And so I think when we are approaching situations, experiences, things we've never done before, it's really going right back to self, right back to you. In regards to how do I plan to show up in this new space, evolve? What skill sets do I need to make this happen? What structure do I need to put in place to make sure I show up as my best self, even though it's something I've never done before? And
yeah, but I was just that part, because like I was just going to be like, but I don't even always think about the structure, like how I'm going to show up, because we're still talking about the unknown. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you got to know how you're about to go into something or what you're going to do first.
Okay. So maybe I have like a layout. Maybe I have a little something,
structure,
a little something that me and my good girl Chat and I worked out, right? Me and Dara worked out, right? but still is okay. Okay,
That's it. You
we'll
still have
label
some.
that
Mhm.
structure, but
Yes.
there's still like so many components of the unknown. Like if I think about
But
this
they will
whole,
make themselves known as you do it.
well, yeah, like I think like in the middle or in the reflection is where you really start to see, okay, this is, you know what, this I like, but this definitely needs to change. I couldn't change it in the middle, or I didn't feel like I could change it in the middle of, right? But yeah, that trust part, it's such a big thing.
Huge thing.
Yeah.
Huge thing, because you have to be able to trust yourself first before you can then hope that other people trust in you to either deliver, do the things, or be able to do the conversion when they do show up, whatever the case may be, whether it's holding an event or doing a job. Like you just never really know. So
Yeah.
it definitely all goes back to you, and maybe that's a place where people can find some level of confidence, is realizing, hey, it's on me. It's all on how I plan to show
But
up and what I do, more than it is what the expectations are of others in regards to what it is that I am about to do. So it could be a pivotal moment to just kind of pivot within and say, okay, what is it that I need to do to show up? How can I be myself, and what I'm going to do to prepare myself to show up in whatever kind of way? And first, know it's about me first before it's about what other people are expecting of me. Validation, will this meet their expectation? It's like, will it meet my expectation? What do I expect of
it,
myself within this moment to do?
it's so deep because I feel like sometimes that's where self-sabotage happens, in the like overthinking, and in the overthinking or the second guessing your own abilities. And maybe I'm speaking for myself, but also sometimes when you are just doing the thing, and I kind of like the analogy of just kind of like learning to walk. You kind of still tipsy turvy, but like trying to figure it out. And I don't know why this is hitting me right in this moment, but like just that trust in self is so huge, even if you've been doing, like if you think about all the things you accomplished in the past year, right? And then maybe a couple of things that you want to change or you want to do to execute over the next 6 months. What does trust look like for you for those things that you've never done?
What does trust look like for you for the things that you've never done?
I think we need to change the
Embrace
title
the
of this when
moment.
we're done.
I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with still getting into it, but I don't know if I have like a lot. But I would just say embracing the moment, because you live in moments, and everything just boils down to decisions. And so, how you decide to show up or not show up, how you plan to get some type of level of structure, or don't have any structure and just go out there and do it. But even when you talked about it last week with your webinar, like you didn't know what all you were going to do, but you put something together, and once you had whatever it was together, you just went out and did it. Whether it was what the people said needed to be, like, don't do this, don't do that, you was about to do what you wanted to do, and it still worked out for you, but you still came with some level of structure to do the things that you didn't know what was going to happen, but you did it anyway. And so I really just feel like it all boils down into decisions, and your decisions are back onto your mindset, and your mindset is your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs. That's what shapes your decisions and your behaviors, which creates your lifestyle. So you have to just really get into a place of recognizing, okay, what are my thoughts, my feelings, my beliefs about this thing that I'm planning to address?
I'm
What are
telling
those
you, like
things?
the reflection's deep. Like I should say, we can end on that reflect. Well, we ain't done yet, but the reflection is so deep because my mindset is in such a great place. At least I believe. Well, I mean, that's the only person that needs to believe. But like my mindset is in such a great place. And I think even from a space of self-correction, but some of the decisions, and I like that part where you say, like, it's the decisions, you got to just make those decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And whether or not they work out or not, just
Mm-hmm.
trust that something's going to come out of it that you can use.
It will. You'll say, I'll never do that again, or this is what I'll do differently, or I can make some adjustments here if I choose to do this again, or I'll never do that again. This ain't for me. I don't like it. Like, but you won't know until you do it.
But I think where the stakes also change, and maybe this is like, I'm just speaking from a couple of things that I need to make some decisions on, is also like the financial investments that are associated with it, right? So I could do a webinar and be like, I'm gonna never do that again. Like, ooh, child, that was hard. Or I'm gonna make some changes so it could be a little bit more interactive, which was like findings from last week, which I knew but didn't know, and time constraints and all those things. And to, okay, do I make this investment? But I think it's the money part that makes you.
But it goes back to, what's your belief about the money that you are going to be invested in? What are your thoughts about, if I make this investment, what is that going to show? How is that going to show up? How is that going to get me where I want to go with it? What's my intention behind it? Or how do I feel about investing this amount of money? So again, if you look at the thoughts, the feelings, and the beliefs behind that action you plan to take, what are those intentions? And what do you believe, feel, and think about that intention and the action that you'll be putting out to do those things?
That's interesting, because I'm more caught up. Okay, so I'm still crunching. So I might be caught on the how. Like, how am I gonna make this? How am I gonna make it?
And sometimes the how you don't know until you actually do. And so it's not necessarily the how, it's why am I doing what I'm doing, and why am I choosing it?
Well, the why, I already got the why down pack. It's just more about
the how will come in the doing. The how comes when you take the action. It's not something that can be presented to you prior to. A lot of times people want to understand and know the how, when that's the how comes in the doing. And that's the goal with the webinar too. The webinar will hit the whys, the whats, and how this is beneficial, but the how doesn't come until you make the decision to take the next step and put in the work to actually do the things to get the results or the outcome that you want. So it's in the how that comes with the journey of taking the consistent action to see your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs come into fruition based on what decision you make in order to do what you say you're going to do.
It's so interesting, because sometimes I do the how. It's like walking with blindfolds. It's like walking with a blindfold.
And some people don't have the courage to do that. And so they don't do the action. They don't take the action because they don't want to come out of the comfort zone. They don't want to explore what this looks like. And it goes back to the check-in point of the highs and lows. They're not even courageous enough to even see, okay, how low will I have to be low before I can get to the high that I expect to get to? And will I still want this by the time I get to that ending of that part of the journey, or that expectation of what it is that I'm setting forth out for myself? And so
I think that is so true, because I've been having very few conversations, and the few conversations, and I take it all, I want to say with a grain of salt, but I take it all as like, I'm listening, but it also makes me realize, oh, I probably am more riskier than the average person.
And knowing that, I don't see you as somebody that's very hesitant of just going ahead and making the decision and figuring it out on the way to go, because you're somebody who will figure it out. Now, you are someone who really are meticulous and can be a perfectionist. So those of you that are very meticulous, sometimes, I think Nayada said that before. Like when we say, well, we think it looks right, or I've heard other people say it. I'm not that type of person. But
I didn't think I'm that type of person.
Want to have all these different things in place before they can just do the things.
I think you said that too.
That I can. I own that. I can. Like, I don't. There has to be a certain level of structure or
Yeah.
preparation before I can just do something, or I won't feel comfortable trying to do the things because I'll be so worried about other factors that I can't just get out there, show out, and do the thing that I want to do, and be able to just be natural with it and just go with it. But I could definitely be like that. Yeah. So if any of this reflection is hitting y'all, remember that even in the highs and the lows, it still goes into your mindset. And the mindset
Mhm.
breaks down into your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs. So make sure that you take time to reflect on your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs. Know your why, know what your intentions are, and then decide, how do I build and embrace the journey of whatever the highs and lows may be while I go on this journey and this experience. So I think that worked. I like it. I'm down with the deep check-in. I'm not done with my juice. How's your water?
It's about here. It's about almost. It's not about halfway. So okay. So then I'm gonna just ask you this then,
Okay.
and this we'll end with our wins. We'll end with our wins.
Well, no, I kind of still want to talk about the content, but go ahead.
That's what I was going to turn into. I was going to pivot into that. So then I kind of lost the question, but how I kind of lost the question. It was going to ask like something about this. How does this impact maybe the type of content that you want to do for the remainder of the year? And I don't know if it's for the remainder.
Ooh, that's a good one, Shireen. That was really good. And you know what? I feel like based on this conversation, what really showed out for me is talking about the how. That stood out. Like this reflection point was the how, because so many people want to understand the how, and the how comes in the actual doing or the action. You remember 220 days on High Raw. Well, how? I wouldn't know how I was going to do it before I actually did it. And then once I did it, I could tell you how I did it. And so that was a big thing, the liquid detox. I don't know how I was going to do it, because after day 2, I was like, I'm ready to eat. But it was in the actual doing that I found ways to still be successful. Routine, water, juice, water, smoothie if I'm really hungry. You know, like it's in the how of what you do. And I think I would talk a little bit more about the thoughts, the feelings, and the beliefs you have when you're embracing lifestyle changes. And maybe in my content, talking about those things will help people better understand why how you're living your life affects what you're experiencing in your body. Addressing the root cause of your signals and your symptoms of what's happening to you and how you're really showing up to living a vibrant life. And I think that is a better way of putting that into my content, the thoughts, the feelings, and the beliefs, and not getting so caught up on how I'm going to eat something without, like, how I'm going to change my eating habits when I'm so used to eating this food or that food, or how I'm going to get to moving if I don't like going to the gym, or how, like, just thinking about not the how, but focusing on your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs more. I feel like when people hit more of that mindset content, they're more prone to take action and listen a little bit more, because you're meeting them where they are, where they might be limiting their own belief system. They might have limited beliefs. They might have a fixed mindset. They may not be thinking about what's possible for them. They may be feeling a certain type of way, thinking like, oh, I'll never be able to feel less pain in my body. I'll never be able to be vibrant and not feel like I'm tired all the time, struggling with fatigue. Like maybe if I hit more of that type of verbiage in my content, speaking directly to their mindset, then they'll be able to shift some things and be willing to really embrace a journey of taking action to helping themselves feel better by doing different things.
Okay. So the one thing that stood out for me in this is maybe how you can do your hook. Because when you were saying, I don't know how to do this, like, even though you're going to focus on the mindset, I think your hook is in the, I don't know, because I feel like more people will want to be like, I don't know either. Let me check in. Right. So I think like your hook to pull them in is like, I don't know how I'm going to get through, getting rid of whatever. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I think I might try these 3 things. Like I think your hook is in the I don't know how.
Okay.
Because every time you said that, I was like, well, I don't know. Let me listen. I feel like that is a hook.
Okay.
Like the mindset can be the second layer, but a hook them in, you have to reel them with like, I don't know how, I'm gonna try to figure this. I don't know how, but I heard these three things. I don't know how, but I heard that if you put castor oil in your belly button, so I'm gonna try. I don't know how the hell I'm gonna do this, but I feel like that's a hook.
Okay. I don't know how. Okay. What about you? What stood
I
out
don't
to
know.
you in regards to the content? Oh, I think it's, again, so many people want to understand the how. When you'll make the how visible and attainable, if they are willing to take the journey with you to help them launch their podcast or their show, or, you know what I'm saying, with their production or with their events that they're having, you help put on. Like, they don't have to worry about the how, because you got the how. You're the strategist behind things. You're the producer when it comes into whatever the show or whatever product they want you to create for them. You're the brand, the brain behind the how. And so it's really telling them, you might not know how to do so, you might not know how to do whatever, but come to Voices and Vibes podcast, or help me. Let me get, I got you on with Perspective Studio Productions, have you with your production needs. Trust me, you can do this, that, and the fourth, because you've already been producing for so many different people on the road, out in the streets, as well as in your studio with 2 different studios. So I feel like the how, don't worry about the how, but address all the other things that might be keeping them stuck. I don't want to have a video podcast. You don't have to. You can start on audio, and there's so many different ways that you can still get your message out. You might not know that there's a story within you where there's an audience that needs you to share your personal experiences or whatever it is that your level of expertise. So some people want to come with their business, and be able to have their brand be able to support so much. It's like speaking to how they have so much to offer the world and to make an impact, and be like, but it's okay if you don't get it, because I can show you and take you on this journey. Like, I feel like that's more of a place, because we even said that before. I don't even know if it was maybe like a year ago, where we were talking about other Black girls. Remember, we were saying this, I think when you wanted to do the summer camp last year or something, it was like, there's so many girls that look like you, like you're a representation of so many different women or girls that don't know that they need to have these spaces to be able to put themselves out there into the world. And I think that's when we were talking about your summer camp and getting the kids excited about having their own space, their own voice. I think that's when it was, Shireen. I feel like that's when we were talking about how we are representation. We're representing a certain group of people out there that need us to show up and show out and let them know that their experiences are validated, because
So I
other
feel
people
like,
have
girl, give me a minute. Pause. So I feel like
Go ahead.
I need to figure out maybe.
I'm about done.
Yeah, I feel like I need to figure out more of the hook. Like the hook, because I do feel like I say some of those things already. Not consistent.
But start with your people in mind, though, Shireen.
Those people are in mind. Like, those are my target people, right? So those people are already in mind, but it's more about the hook. Like you already know who you're going after. I already know who I'm going after. But it's like, how am I hooking these few folks? And I probably just want to hook. Like, if I was to, I've been focused on some other things recently, and I just need to figure, like, if I was to try to hook people on like creating a course, I need to figure out like what that hook is. And somebody had said to me, I've been working with someone about personal branding, and maybe I need to go back to her message, but she kind of like how you might go, I don't know how I'm going to reduce, I don't know how I'm going to reduce, what's that thing called? What's that type of massage? What's that type of massage that they say when you do like with the tapping and you do, what's the type of massage? Do you remember what it's called?
Is that lymphatic draining?
Yes, yes. Okay. So I've been watching a lot of lymphatic draining. Yeah, like how to do them, where to do them, all kinds of things. Do it in all these areas. So if your thing was, I don't know how to get rid of this inflammation, but I'm gonna try lymphatic massage, these 5 lymphatic massages, because I keep seeing it on my stream. Oh, bit my tongue. I keep seeing it on my stream. So if you were to say that, like, you got the hook, you already know your target, you got the hook, and then you have a how, right? Or I don't know how this, but because I'm already juicing, I think the next step is to incorporate this, and I'm going to try this in my, as like for my movement. So you kind of have the hook, the target, all that jazz there, and then you have what you're trying. I have all of the things. I just need to better formulate the content from a hook standpoint. And a lot of people can resonate with the I don't know how. It can't be long-winded, right?
Can't be.
Right? Like, to me,
Yeah, we'll lose them.
yeah, exactly. So like I probably need to play with my chat GPT a bit. I do remember
Agreed.
The personal branding person saying to me, something quite similar. I have to think about what it was. Something quite similar to the I don't know hows. I don't know hows. Like these are, you see those people say that these are 3 ways that I lost this. To me, depending on what it is, I might swipe quickly. You know what I mean? You didn't hook me. Next,
Yeah.
your I don't know hows, that will hook me. Right? Yeah, we got the lymphatic. You late, oh shoot.
Maybe it's a lag.
He said
like when people are watching, it might be a lag on the live.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, true. Sorry.
Come through.
That's a real lag.
So I was thinking, I don't know, you might have caught what I was saying, but like all the different people you've already worked with before, and they weren't quite sure what their show was going to be about or stuff like that. I was thinking, like, specifically think about what it looked like to start with them, and kind of use that, because you had different people on like your Mother's Day content thing that you did, which was really fun and was cool. And I think that's content that you should kind of keep going, because it's really about seeing multiple people that are already in your studio working with you constantly in different content pieces that's building. I feel like that's really, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that type of content was amazing. Like, I love how y'all took like a different approach to Mother's Day and made that content. I think you need more of that content too, Shireen, because I think that not only builds your confidence, but it builds the brand behind Perspective Studio Productions, because all of your clients that are a part of this brand are supporting a message, and y'all are unifying that message together through content. You know what I mean? And it's and they all wanted to be a part of it. You didn't just say, "Oh, I'm taking a piece of all of their shows and I'm just putting it out there for content." No, y'all came together with your own different personalities, and you had a message that was together that y'all put out there. I love that type of content from you. But I was just saying, simplify it based on the clients that you've already had and how it started for them, what they wanted, but they didn't know what it was going to look like. And now you do know what it looks like. So using their experiences, almost like testimonials, but not in the traditional testimonial site, to make it a series of I don't know how, but I don't know how I'm going to turn my divorce into something that will benefit other people. But you know what I'm saying?
But I'm going to sign these papers anyways. No.
There you go. And it's still a part of my journey. So I'm going to talk about it, and whatever the case may be, because I know I'm not the only one out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, being able to really take real life examples from the real life clients that you already have and speak to those other people that might be out there that's not necessarily them. With the I don't know how.
It's an interesting one. It's an interesting one, but and maybe if I get more granular, because it is an interesting. How much time we been on here? Okay, it's an interesting
and I know
one.
Your battery is going down, because I know mine is too. But this is good. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, let me know where you're at, because I'm at 59 now.
Okay, keep going. I think I still have a few more minutes.
Okay, we'll wrap it up then. I think maybe I'll go a little granular, because some of the shows are so different.
See?
Yeah. And like, when we talk about how to launch, right? So, you're going to have a conversation. That's the basics, right? Here's the few things that you're going to do. Here's a few, what I'd like to do is here's a few free resources. Fine. That's the basics. But like, how are you going to launch that? And so maybe it's content around that. And maybe it's like, and if I was to try to use the same hook, you may not know how you're going to do this, but let me show you what some of our you may not know how. Maybe I'm going to take that one back.
I
Yeah.
like it. I think so. And I think
Yeah.
that's another thing, y'all. Like as we start concluding on the content part,
Hmm.
there's no set true formula to how
Yeah.
to create the content that's best for you. It's not out there yet because it's uniquely yours. And so while you might
Didn't
see
try to.
examples of what is already working in the algorithm, that's good to know because it gives you an insight on what the algorithm pushes, but you can still do your own thing. And whenever you do your own thing, it's going to connect and convert with the people that get to see it that it matters most to. And so don't put your hope and trust all into an algorithm or focus all on views. Just make sure that you're showing up for you in your authentic voice, your authentic style, your personality. So when the right person finds you and they think that you are the right person for them, it's a vibe. It's a vibe and it's a match. And so you're not for everybody. So make sure that you're not trying to do content that aligns with what everybody else is doing. Like be uniquely you.
Yeah, and
Do your thing.
I was gonna say, and don't forget to like just try different things, because even if I think you're trying different hooks to your
Mm.
message. Like just be open to trying different hooks to your message, right? Because that hook might work now. I don't know how. Might just be a series that works now in July, but you bring it back in September and you're not running it the whole time. So you might have to have multiple hooks on how you're going to do different things, right? Because not you're not going to do just one style of thing. So
Put that up on the screen in case people didn't get to
yeah,
see it.
yeah. Try
That
different.
was a good one.
Oh, hold on.
Yes, be open to different hooks for
Yeah, try
who
different
are supposed
hooks.
to be for your message. I like that one. That really stood out because sometimes people think they need to do all these different things over, and it's really just the hook. If you can hook them in, they'll be there for the message.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
they'll be there for the message after the 3 seconds slack that they chose not to swipe away. And that's a big thing for me too, Shireen. Like even checking out some of my content on YouTube is seeing the analytics on 20 something people stayed to watch, 70-80% chose to swipe away. That means the hook ain't hooking. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
showing you that that's what's happening. And so take that information and the analytics to do something differently, to
Yeah.
take a different approach, but don't place your identity in it. Like, oh, I'm only 20% of people are only trying to stick around to hear what I have to say. Again, those might be 20% of the people that might be interested in the content or the subject matter. Those other people probably was just on the app and had nothing to like,
Yeah.
that's just not where they are in their life to even want to hear or receive the message that you have. Like it's just not for them. And that's okay. But what you can't do is just not show up.
You know what I just maybe I don't know if you have more, but to close out maybe a part of it is I did watch this girl. I've been consuming some content on TikTok where they're telling you how to produce your content, right?
Hmm.
And one thing that I did before, with YouTube, I tend to like post like really early in the morning. If I'm scheduling something, I post it really early. I schedule it really early in the morning. And I was doing that before, and I do think that they sometimes get better views. I mean, I'm not getting like what other people are getting, but like I'm not concerned about that at the moment. Um, some people said that when you schedule your content on YouTube, I heard someone say you schedule your content on YouTube. When you schedule it, you give it enough time, YouTube enough time to find,
The people
yeah,
that
to
need
find the audience that it would best like resonate with. And then I heard this girl say on TikTok, um, post your content late at night on TikTok because you're not competing with a lot of people. And so, and then just like get off of it, right? So, like, when you post it, just run away after, because you're more likely to be seen because there's less people posting, but there's more consumers just winding down at that point. So I think those might be like the YouTube one that I'm already doing, but the I need to do it more. But the TikTok one, I think I want to try. I did it a couple of times, not before even seeing that message, and then I heard that message, and I was like, I'm gonna have to try to figure this out.
And see, my thought process behind that is like, all right, if I get up in the metrical and I start scheduling stuff, because everybody's getting almost like the same content and I'm not diversifying all the different content. It's like, okay, now if I'm getting on here and I'm putting it on here based on the times, maybe like for Instagram, because that's where I have like the most followers, then TikTok not about to get it at no 10 o'clock at night because nobody is on, in regards to my audience, is on
as
Instagram
yet that you know of.
Right. Agree. But I'm just saying, like, based on the analytics, like Metrical will tell you when like 90%, 80%, like I try to post within those 80 to 90% of the time where my followers are likely to be on. So it's just like, how do I differentiate that without taking that next step to make sure that when I'm pushing it on TikTok? And I think that's when people go back to the whole choose one platform, focus on that, and then whatever you put out and you put it out on everything else, it'll still get out there and you'll see how it performs. But when you're like really focusing on all these different platforms, all the different times, all the different, features that, okay, TikTok could do well with this type of content, YouTube might do better on this, Instagram is better on that. When you have the capacity for all of that, own it. Be intentional about how you show up with all that content that you have for it. But if you don't have the capacity for it, choose one platform that you really want to focus on and let everybody get it all at the same time and really start seeing what resonates. That's just where I'm at with it. And I love that approach with YouTube. I try to do 24 hours or 48 hours in advance before I drop like my podcast episode. I need to do better with my YouTube lives. Like people definitely come in on my juice prep lives, but because I just set it 15 minutes by the time I got the juices set up, the food ready, like the fruits and stuff prep, I'm just like going live in like 10 minutes because now I'm ready. No one gets the opportunity to know that I'm about to go live with the juice prep. And so I could do better with that, with my routine to know, okay, I know I'm a juice tomorrow. So let me go ahead and get, my thumbnail done. Let me schedule it. You know what I'm saying? I could do better with that with the lives. We started doing better with that with our lives, at least making it happen the night before, because we used to do the same thing 10 to 15 minutes before we go live. We're creating it to put it out there.
We were, and then we weren't, and then we were, and then we weren't. But I think that if you're in whatever scheduling tool you're in and you're scheduling, I'm not talking about creating the different types of content. I'm just talking about scheduling. Even if they have suggestions on when your people are in, that doesn't mean it. I feel like it's worth testing. Marketing is all about testing. So I think it's like worth testing the scheduling, not where it's working, where it's not working. So if the TikTok, if you could schedule it, like you're going to load them all at the same time. And we ain't talking about creating different content. So if you're just scheduling it for the evening, the next day or whatever, the chances are you might start getting some of those lower views early. I don't know, because it really depends on how it's done, but I feel like it's worth testing.
I do too, but I also like to use the word marketing, and we can kind of conclude on this. Y'all, content is all about marketing. At the end of the day, that is what content is. It's not about going for virality. It's not about like you want people to like, you want them to comment because that means that message resonated. And so now you know that this piece of content, something within the message, the angles, the hook, it resonated with someone enough for them to like or for them to comment. And we talked about that before, y'all. Not everybody who sees and watches your content is going to have the courage, the confidence to comment because they may not even want to be visible, seeing that they like the stuff that you're putting out there. So more people are definitely probably watching. They're learning, they're getting impact from what it is that you're doing. They're seeing you do the things, but they're not going to always comment and do the likes. So when you start getting the likes, the shares, the comments, know that that's resonating with some people. That marketing message that you're using, take that insight back and figure out how you can make it even better, stronger and more out there to reach even more people. And maybe that's when you start putting certain money behind in ads. And we'll go into that on a whole nother day because I've never done that part before. But I do want you to know that at the end of the day, it's all about marketing, being better at marketing to your people, your consumers, and getting better with the hooks and the value that you're providing, not just being another person. What my brother told me earlier today was that you're not just a user. So when you show up with purposeful content that you're creating for your brand, for your messaging, you're not just a user like so many other people are choosing to be on these social media platforms. They're just using the app to be entertained or educated. You're showing up with a purpose and with intention. You have a message or you have something that you want to be able to help other people with. So you're not that regular user. So be intentional about the content that you are creating and get real about it, because you have a real message to put out there. So I think that was good. It was a good live, Shireen.
Yeah, I was going to ask you before we wrap up, what's your win?
My win. Woo! My win, y'all. My win was that I was able to take my juice prep live on the road. Like I did a juice prep live stream, and not my regular juice prep studio. And I actually juiced yellow and orange watermelon, and actually took a deeper dive of seeded versus seedless on my juice prep live. So it was really, really good. But taking the juice prep on the road was definitely a challenge, but it was something I was really proud of, being able to do, because it's all about what you said earlier, Shireen. It's that consistency and making things happen. When you're being very intentional on how you plan to show up and what you're doing for yourself, that also rolls into how you're showing up and letting other people know what they could be doing, and empowering them as well. So it's the orange and the yellow watermelon juice that I did, having to go find jars and everything else to make it happen. But it was exciting. So that is my wellness win. And it was good. And actually, that was the first time I had the yellow watermelon juice on our live today. So it was really, really good. So I'm glad I got more jars to turn.
Did the yellow watermelon taste differently?
Yes. This one was like, it was sweeter. It was surprisingly sweeter than I thought. It was sweet. The yellow was sweeter than the orange. The orange tasted more watery, with like a hint of like a floral note on the back, but it was definitely not as sweet as the yellow. Like it definitely wasn't as sweet as the yellow. And so, I don't think the yellow was as sweet as the red. Like,
I was just about to ask you if you had to put
you have it
yellow or orange or red.
The yellow. Yellow? The yellow. I would drink the yellow watermelon juice over the red, but I would eat the red over the yellow.
I'm going to just say, for me, and I haven't tried the other two, at this current moment, without having any taste factor, I'm going to stick with the OG watermelon with seeds. Because it's so hard to find watermelon with seeds because they be manufacturing all this bullshit.
Hybridation. So, I was learning all of that on the live.
What's that? What's that? Say it again.
Hybridation. They be hybridating the different watermelons and all of that.
All the different fruits. Exactly. Like I said, manipulating all of the damn seeds. Whatever word they want to add, hybrid. Yes, manipulating all of the Mother Nature seeds. I'm going to go with the OG and tell MN to drop off some original watermelon with seeds, because those mofos be hard to find.
Agreed. Wholeheartedly. All right, what's your win, Shireen?
Let's see. What's my win? I mean, I don't even know right now. I don't even know, but I know that when I woke up this morning, excuse me, ignore that yawn, I did sleep well.
Good.
I have been drinking the water and putting my magnesium in it, and pretty consistently. And this morning, actually, I got some good rest. Sleep is it, because on the weekend for the last 2 weeks I did not get a lot of rest. I didn't even have like a break day. So I intentionally said I am going to take a day more than just like the Monday that's supposed to be my day off, which is never. But and I literally slept on Saturday, and I didn't feel that great on Sunday and Monday, and I think it was because the heat. Like I felt like I got like a bit of a heat stroke. So I felt really kind of sickish. And I was only outside for like a short period of time.
Stroke or exhaustion?
Whichever one. My tummy hurt and I was exhausted all of a sudden, and it just came out of like nowhere. Gotcha. And so it was kind of awkward. I wasn't even in a like ridiculously heated spot, but I was outside for a minute and I was like, that's weird. Like, why am I down for the count? And I had to sleep. But the sleep that I had on Saturday, whew, I rested. I only got out of bed to shower and get back in bed. And so I'm gonna say sleep. Last night I slept really, really good. So just getting in that rest and just doing my own little massage on myself. That I would say that's my win. Yeah.
Okay. I love it. Y'all make sure when you catch the replay or if you're watching live right now, you drop your wellness wins for us. We want to acknowledge them too. And remember, just how we checked in. I don't know, Shireen, if you have a checkout or we're going to use that check-in. So it's really good. Okay. Remember, it's all about the highs and the lows, y'all. Highs and the lows. You have to do a better job of acknowledging those wins. Even if you think they're small or minimalistic, they still matter. All right. They still matter. So don't forget to drop your wellness wins with us in the comments when you catch the replay or you watch it live. What you got, Shireen?
Let's see. That's such a let's see. I'm just grabbing something.
Okay. And y'all, while Shireen is grabbing the checkout in the show notes, I got some good vibes and value for you in there. So check out the LINKs in my show notes for you to support you on your wellness journey. Go ahead, Shireen. You got it?
All right. The guidance I need lives within me. I no longer chase clarity. I breathe, I listen, I receive.
I like that. Put that on the screen, Shireen, please.
Oh.
I like that. Thank you, Shoot.
Thanks, Shoot. The guidance I need lives within me. I no longer chase clarity. I breathe, I listen, and I receive. And
I like that, Shireen, because so many different people, no, it's okay. So many different people always be like, oh, well, I need clarity. I need clarity. I've been there before. I need clarity. And it's so much power in breathing. It's so much power in listening. And then it's so much power in receiving, but then getting into the doing and not allowing maybe a lack of what you believe is clarity when it's really probably a lack of just decision making and just going and doing a thing. That kind of is a thing for me at times. So I really love this check out, I guess it is. We checked in, our checkout, our reflection at the end. I love this. Y'all don't chase clarity. Breathe, listen, receive, make a decision, and go after it in the right mindset. Your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, and know what your intentions are, and just go do it boldly and meet yourself on the other side of this thing.
Yeah, I like that don't chase clarity part. You could write that in there if you want to, so I would throw that up on the screen. Don't chase clarity. I like that. I mean, I think it says something that I no longer chase clarity, but don't chase clarity is such a, because sometimes that clarity doesn't come until after you've done it multiple times.
And then you'd be like, oh, now I know why I needed to do the things that I needed to do.
Like sometimes you just have to go through it. I guess that rounds us up back to like the trust that we talked about earlier, right? Like you just got to trust that clarity is going to come. So don't even bother to chase it.
That was
all right. Well, any other parting words, Giovanni?
No, this is the last Thursday in June. We're going into July. Halftime is over. Go show up for yourself. Go be yourself. But most importantly, y'all, keep vibing on this thing called life. What you got, Shireen?
I just got don't chase clarity.
Come on. And that's it. Y'all, second half, don't chase clarity. Get to work.
Just do it. Don't chase clarity. Just do the work.
Let's go. Y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Herbal Tea Thursday. Shireen had her chlorophyll water. I had my yellow watermelon juice. Make sure when you come and catch the replay, you let us know what you've been drinking on what's in your cup. You've been vibing with us on the live. Y'all, thanks for vibing with us.
Bye, everyone.